losing streak continues in the capital of the U.S. Yes, the Blackhawks lose 5-3 to the Washington Capitals. But some history occurred in this game as Alex Ovechkin is now tied with Wayne Gretzky for all-time goals. The Hawks were playing a solid game, but it was the third period of play where two penalties occurred that cost them this game, frankly. That's what happened. And when you see Ovechkin start sniping, he for that third goal to try and break the record, well, Spencer Knight stood strong in the final minutes because Ovechkin kept shooting the puck hard. The Hawks, though, fall to the Capitals 5-3, giving up an empty net goal and two power play goals to the Capitals. This was I would say the Hawks played well, but it was the third period of play. This young team falls apart when it when the play was at its peak. This was how it went down. Hawks went 0 for 1 on their power play. Yes, they only had one power play. In fact, the Hawks don't know how to go back to what was working on the power play because before Artem Lashunov made his NHL debut, the power play was honestly working phenomenally. But now since Lashunov made his NHL debut, the Hawks really haven't done anything when it comes to the extra attacker. It really has not worked out for the Hawks. And the Capitals went 2 for 3. Hits were 12-18 in favor for the Capitals. Shots on goal per period, 10-10 in the first period. 7-9 in favor for the Capitals in the second period. 5-10 in favor for the Capitals in the third period. Total shots on goal 22-29 in favor for the Capitals. So let's get into the game summary at this point. In the first period, the Hawks come out blazing. They were buzzing, getting chances off. However, when the shots were at a point of 8-2, the Capitals find it themselves on the board. 3 minutes and 52 seconds into play, Alex Ovechkin gets within one to tying Wayne Gretzky for his 40th of the season, assisted by Strome and Carlson to make it a 1-0 game for the Capitals. The Hawks started out great, but then they gave up a goal a few minutes into play. They were buzzing, but the Capitals get their first goal. However, the Hawks were able to battle back. They were playing the better hockey in the first period, and they got their chances off. And well, at 13:55 in the first period, score by number 59, Tyler Bertuzzi, his 21st of the season, assisted by number 84, Landon Slager, and number 91, Frank Nazar, to make it a 1-1 game. This goal by Bert was all set up by a good press for the Hawks in the offensive zone by Nazar. Nazar behind the net gets it over to Slager. Slager on the backhand feeds it across the ice, across the crease over to Bertuzzi to bury it. Hawks tie it up. And it remained 1-1 after 1. The Hawks, though, in that first period, were the better team. They were playing smart hockey, getting chances, but they weren't bending, and they played the game right. We go into the second period of play and find ourselves on the lead. 31 seconds, in fact, into the second period. Scored by number 91, Frank Nazar, his 8th of the season. Assisted by number 11, Oliver Moore, and number 77, Pat Maroon, to give the Hawks a 1 goal lead. It's 2-1 Chicago Blackhawks. Oliver Moore gets his career first National Hockey League point off the primary assist to Frank. Frank Nazar in the slot goes bar down and in. Hawks lead it by 1. However, the Capitals get momentum and they find themselves getting a few chances off. And while at 7:09 in the second period, Faravari scores his 5th of the season, assisted by McMichael and Carlson to tie it up 2 apiece. This goal trickles in past Knight, and Faravari gets the loose puck behind Knight and pokes it in, and it's all tied up. However, this tied game does not last long because 10 seconds later, at 7:19, in the second period, scored by number 23, Philip Kurashev, his 7th of the season, assisted by number 84, Landon Sliger, and number 11, Oliver Moore, to give the Hawks their 1-goal lead right back 10 seconds after giving up a goal to tie the game. The Hawks go right down the ice and score. Kurashev coming in for the healthy scratch of Lucas Reichel. The Hawks are on the board. And now it's 3-2 Hawks. They take this 1-goal lead into the third period. Washington is battling, and they get on the board pretty quick in the third period because the Hawks take a penalty by Pat Maroon early in the period at 3:46 in the third period, scored by Dylan Strome, unassisted for his 25th of the season. This goal goes in off the stick of Connor Murphy. So the former Hawk gets a goal that goes in off his former teammate. It's a 3-3 game. And then 3 minutes later, Bedard gets called for holding, and this happens. At 6:13 in the third period, Alex Ovechkin ties Wayne Gretzky with his 41st of the season, goal number 894, beating Spencer Knight off his office from a slap shot from Ovechkin to beat Spencer Knight. It is a 1-goal lead for Washington. Hawks fall in this PK. 2 PKs a matter of 3 minutes apart, and it hurts the Hawks. And then late in the game, the Hawks pull Spencer Knight at 18:24 in the third period. Ryan Leonard scores his first National Hockey League goal via the empty net for the Washington Capitals to make it a 5-3 lead. Then the Hawks kept Knight in the net. Alex Ovechkin kept trying to beat Knight. Knight said no, and it remains Ovechkin tied with Wayne Gretzky, and the Hawks fall to the Great Eight and the Washington Capitals. Am I mad with how this game went? Frankly, no. The Hawks played well. They did. Washington found a way, being the best team in the NHL this year, coming against the second worst team in the NHL. They know how to do it. They know how to win. The Hawks are young, trying to figure out how to win. They played well for their second game in a row. They just didn't find the extra attack in that third period of play. And, well, we saw history tonight. Alex Ovechkin is tied with Wayne Gretzky for all-time goals. So, Down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts were on today's action. And thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, congratulations, it's Alex Ovechkin.